The Amateur is a new spy action thriller directed by James Hawes. It's out in theaters this weekend. This film stars a plethora of really talented people. Rami Malek, it stars Laurence Fishburne, Jon Bernthal, Holt McCauley, I can't remember his last name, but he was in like Mindhunters. He's been in a lot of stuff actually. In this movie, Rami Malek plays a man named Charlie Heller. Charlie Heller is a brilliant decryptor and decoder who works for the CIA. And then suddenly, after a terrorist attack in London kills his wife and his superiors refuse to do anything about it, Charlie decides to put his intelligence to the test as he undergoes a dangerous trek around the world to find his wife's killers and bring them to justice. I gotta say, the movie might be called The Amateur, but whoever worked on this movie, there's some pros for sure. Admittedly, not my strongest joke, not my best material to start off the positive side of a movie like this. Right off the bat, what I can say about The Amateur is that this is a familiar premise, right? Like, you've seen something like this in other movies, other spy movies before. You've seen tons of characters over time where they have a significant other or a loved one or somebody that gets killed, and then immediately the rest of the movie is about them trying to get revenge for what happened to their loved one. I think what this movie does is it takes a very familiar premise and it gives it a very intriguing tweak. And that tweak becomes the hook for basically the entire movie, and that hook low-key makes this familiar premise feel like it has something new to it, like a different flavor to it. The hook in this movie is that Rami Malek is not like one of those big badass guys that you see in action movies like this. He's not Jason Statham, he's not Jason Momoa, he's not Vin Diesel, he's not The Rock, he's not any of the other action stars that have littered your cinemas over the last 20 to 25 years. He's not big, he's not strong, he's not intimidating, he's not well trained. He is literally a fish out of water in this movie. Having a character that is simultaneously a fish out of water, but also in over his head, but also he has like intelligence that the bad people in the movie underestimate. That's like a perfect mixture, a perfect blender of different tropes all thrown into one character, and that is what makes the premise of this movie more interesting. If we're talking about the movie in general though, I do think it's a well-shot movie. I think it's got very methodical, very efficient camera work here. I also think this applies to the action scenes. Everything is in camera, and even though they do incorporate a little bit of shaky cam, it does add to the intensity of everything that's going on. They do it the right way, like Paul Greengrass does it. The bad guys in this film are unfamiliar with his game, but I am very familiar with Rami Malek's game. He's got kind of that permanent crazy eye look to him. But overall, you gotta say Rami Malek is definitely one of the more talented actors that works today, and I really think all of the performances in this movie are very committed. Laurence Fishburne is in this movie. I kind of wish he was in the movie more. We'll get to that a little bit later, but I like the dynamic that he had with Rami Malek's character. He starts off as kind of like his trainer and his mentor, like he's trying to train Rami Malek to learn how to kill so that he can kill these bad guys. He eventually transitions into becoming more of an antagonist to Rami Malek's character, and I just like their dynamic, and I thought that was going somewhere. Rachel Brosnahan is not in the movie much. Like, she's in the very beginning of the movie, and she's kind of got visions and dreams sequences scattered throughout. But in fairness, take a look at Rachel Brosnahan. I mean, I absolutely would commit revenge murders all around the world for her. I mean, look at her. It's a spy thriller. It's got good action. It's got good performances. It's got a little bit of that spy intrigue that you like to see. It's overall a pretty entertaining movie. Overall, I feel a little bit let down by this movie because the setup and the concept and the premise and everything was all clicking, and then the actual movie played out, and I'm just kind of like, oh, well, it's just kind of okay. This is a movie that could have told its story in a way more efficient manner, in my opinion. The pacing is a really big problem here. The pacing of this movie is slowed down and inherently by an overabundance of subplots and characters that just don't matter. There are a lot of things that happen in this movie, and I would say at times it feels like there's a little bit too much going on. When the story focuses up and it's actually about him and him planning out these elaborate schemes to kill these people using his mind, I mean, those are the more interesting parts of the movie. Unfortunately, you just have to wade through a sea of bullshit just to get to all of that. There are so many subplots in this movie that you just don't care about. There are characters that pop up in this movie that have like 5-10 minute speaking sequences, and you're just like, why are we focused on you right now? Can we get back to the thing that I came to see this movie for? The film feels incredibly bloated. It feels overindulgent. It feels like it tries to mix in a whole bunch of other shit, add layers to the story, and instead it just makes the story feel more complicated than it needs to be. This is how you take a 2-hour movie and you make it feel like it's almost 3 hours. That's how bad the pacing is in this movie. I also feel like there are some wasted character dynamics here that really don't do the story or the other characters in the story justice. Like Laurence Fishburne, I mentioned how good he is in this movie, I thought they were actually gonna go somewhere with the character dynamic between him and Charlie. And instead, at a certain point in the movie, Laurence Fishburne's character just disappears. He just fucks off, and that's pretty much it for the rest of the movie. And it was disappointing because I feel like he could have really added something here. Why the fuck is Jon Bernthal in this movie? Why the fuck? What is he? He does nothing in this movie. He's in this movie for 5 minutes. I have no idea why. You could have removed this character from the movie entirely and absolutely nothing about the story changes. And that's a shame because I really like Jon Bernthal. He's a hell of an actor, and I thought he actually could have added something to the story too. So we're gonna get rid of character dynamics that are interesting, but instead we're gonna focus on a bunch of boring CIA background bullshit that doesn't really matter, that doesn't really feel that important in the grand scheme of things. Every time it felt like things were about to become more intense or things were about to get more exciting, the story just slows to an absolute halt and it focuses on a bunch of other shit that just does not matter at the end of the day. The Amateur was a solid watch, but too flawed to highly recommend. I'm gonna leave this one in the Daily Planet. Those are my thoughts on The Amateur. Tell me, what are your top 5 favorite spy movies of all time? Put that in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.